My family threw me out after my sister falsely accused me of stealing. My own family, the people who were supposed to love me unconditionally, kicked me out because my sister lied. They cast me aside, condemned me without a second thought, and then, 3 years later, the truth emerged from the most shocking place imaginable, our garbage disposal. I never imagined I'd be telling this story, but here goes. I'm Elliot, 26, and 3 years ago, my life was completely flipped upside down by a false accusation from my older sister, Gemma, who's 29. We grew up in a small Ohio town with my parents, John and Lisa, in a modest 2-story house. It wasn't fancy, but it was home. My dad was a high school math teacher, and my mom was a nurse. We weren't rich, but we always had what we needed. Gemma and I were incredibly close as kids. We'd spend hours in the backyard, climbing the ancient oak, inventing elaborate games. She was always the ringleader, making up the rules, while I was happy to follow. But as we got older, things started to shift. Gemma was the quintessential overachiever, top of her class, captain of the debate team, always excelling. I, on the other hand, was more laid back. I did okay in school, but I never had her intense drive. By the time Gemma left for college, we'd really drifted apart. She went to a prestigious university on a scholarship, while I stayed local and attended community college, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. After graduation, Gemma moved to the city and landed a job at a big marketing agency. She'd come home for holidays, full of stories about her exciting life and successful career. I couldn't help but feel a little inferior, still living at home, working part-time at the local grocery store, and searching for my next step. Despite the growing distance, I always thought we were fine. Not as close as before, but I assumed that was just part of growing up. I had no idea how quickly everything could unravel. 3 years ago, Gemma and her boyfriend, Tom, got engaged. They'd been together for 2 years, and everyone was ecstatic. Tom was a lawyer from a wealthy family, and my parents absolutely adored him. He proposed with a stunning diamond ring, a family heirloom, and Gemma was over the moon, constantly showing it off. The engagement party was a huge affair. My parents invited what felt like the entire town to our house. I remember feeling a bit out of place among Gemma and Tom's sophisticated city friends, sticking close to my old high school pals who were still around. I felt much more comfortable with them than with Gemma's new circle. Then, a month after the engagement, all hell broke loose. It was a Tuesday afternoon, my day off from work. I was in my room, lost in a video game, enjoying the quiet house. Gemma was visiting for a week, taking time off to start planning the wedding with Mom. I heard them come home from a shopping trip, chatting and laughing downstairs, but I didn't give it another thought and went back to my game. About an hour later, I heard Gemma scream. My heart pounded as I ran downstairs. That's when she accused me. She claimed she'd taken her ring off while doing dishes, left it on the kitchen counter, and now it was gone. I was stunned, utterly floored. I quickly denied taking it, but Gemma refused to listen. She just kept shrieking that I was the only other one in the house, so it had to be me. She started listing off how I'd always been jealous of her success, how I probably wanted to sell the ring to finally move out and accomplish something with my life. My parents walked in amidst the chaos, and Gemma immediately launched into her version of events. To my horror, they believed her. Every single word. My mother burst into tears, asking how I could do such a thing to my own sister. My father simply stared at me, his eyes filled with a crushing disappointment. They immediately began tearing my room apart, turning everything upside down. They didn't find the ring, but they did find some money I'd saved from my grocery store job. It wasn't much, maybe a few $100s, but Gemma seized on it, claiming I must have sold the ring, and that's where the money came from. I tried to explain that I'd been saving for months, planning to take some classes at the community college, but no one, not a single person, listened. The next few days were a living nightmare. My parents and Gemma relentlessly pressured me to confess and return the ring. They threatened to call the police if I didn't come clean. I was terrified, feeling completely alone. Nobody in my family believed me. I was treated like a criminal in my own home. I tried reaching out to friends, but most had moved away after high school, and the few who remained seemed unwilling to get involved in family drama. I felt more isolated than ever before. After a week of nonstop accusations and threats, my parents made a decision that shattered my world. They told me I had to leave. They said they couldn't trust me anymore, that I was bringing shame upon the family. They gave me 2 days to pack my belongings and get out. I was devastated. I had nowhere to go, no idea what to do. My best friend from high school, Ryan, who'd recently returned from the army, offered to let me crash on his couch, but I knew I couldn't stay there long. His apartment was tiny, and he was still getting back on his feet. I packed everything I could into a backpack and an old duffel bag, clothes, books, my laptop, a few cherished memories from brighter times. As I was leaving, I saw Gemma watching me from her old bedroom window. I thought I caught a flicker of doubt in her eyes, but she quickly turned away. Walking out of that house, the only home I'd ever known, was the hardest thing I've ever done. I felt utterly betrayed and abandoned by the people who were supposed to love me unconditionally. The saddest part? I had done nothing wrong. For the next 2 months, I bounced between Ryan's couch and cheap motels whenever I could afford them. I took on any odd job I could find to make ends meet, washing dishes, walking dogs, even a few weeks on a construction site. It was incredibly tough, but I was determined to prove my innocence and succeed on my own. Eventually, I landed a steady job at a warehouse on the outskirts of town. The work was hard, the hours were long, but the pay was consistent. It wasn't spectacular, but it allowed me to rent a modest room in a shared house with other warehouse workers. By the way, if you're still with me, make sure to hit subscribe. More unbelievable stories are coming. I slowly began rebuilding my life, but the grief and anger never truly faded. I'd lie awake at night, replaying the events, wondering how everything had gone so wrong. How could my family have turned on me so quickly? How could Gemma, who'd grown up with me and knew me better than anyone, believe I would do such a thing? I cut off all communication with them. In the beginning, my mother would leave heartfelt voicemails, urging me to come home and make things right. My father sent a few terse text messages, saying we needed to talk. Gemma even showed up at the warehouse once, but I refused to see her. I couldn't bear to speak with them after what they'd done. They were no longer my family. For 3 years, this was my life. I made new friends at work and in my shared house. We'd hang out after shifts, grab a beer, and watch games. It wasn't the life I'd envisioned, but it was mine and I had built it from scratch. I worked hard and was even promoted to shift supervisor. I started taking online classes for business management, slowly figuring out what I wanted to do. But there was always a part of me that remained outraged and wounded. I missed my old life, my family, but I couldn't forgive them for not believing me. Every holiday season was a punch to the gut. Seeing families shopping together or hearing Christmas music always brought a wave of sadness for what I'd lost. Then last week, I received an unexpected email from my father. The subject line simply said, "We need to talk." The message was brief, stating they needed to meet with me immediately and that it was about the ring incident. At first, I was tempted to ignore it, just like all their previous attempts to reach me. But something made me hesitate. Maybe it was curiosity, or perhaps a tiny part of me still craved closure. After hours of arguing with myself, I decided to listen. I called my father, and what he said left me utterly stunned. The ring had been found. Gemma had accidentally knocked it into the garbage disposal while doing the dishes. She only realized this a few days ago when the disposal started making unusual noises, and they called a plumber to inspect it. My father said Gemma was incredibly upset when she understood what had happened, and that I had been telling the truth all along. He said they all felt awful about what they'd done to me and desperately wanted to make things right. I hung up the phone, a whirlwind of emotions swirling inside me. On one hand, I felt completely vindicated. I had always told the truth, and now everyone knew it. But then the anger hit me like a physical blow. I was furious that it took 3 agonizing years for the truth to come out, that I had lost so much time with my family, that I had fought alone for so long when I had done absolutely nothing wrong. Now I'm at a crossroads. My family wants me to come home. They say they want to make things right. Gemma has been calling and messaging nonstop, begging for forgiveness. But I'm not sure I can forgive them. They pushed me out without hesitation, chose to believe the worst of me, and left me to fend for myself for 3 whole years. Part of me wants to send them all to hell and let them deal with the shame of what they did to me. But another part of me misses my old life and wonders if there's a way to rebuild what we've lost. I just don't know what to do. Should I give them an opportunity to make amends? Or should I continue living the life I've created for myself without them? I'm torn, and I could really use some outside insight on this whole situation. Update 1. It's been a week since my previous post, and a lot has happened. I want to thank everyone for their advice and support. It truly helped me process my emotions and figure out what to do. After much debate, I chose to meet with my family. I believed I owed it to myself to confront them and seek closure, even if I wasn't convinced about reconciliation. We decided to meet at a neutral site, a modest coffee shop in the next town over. I chose it because it was far enough from our hometown that we wouldn't run into anyone we knew, yet close enough for everyone to get there easily. I was incredibly nervous on the day of the meeting. I hadn't seen my family in 3 years, and I wasn't sure what to expect. I arrived early and picked a table in the corner where we could have some privacy. When they walked in, it was like a punch to the gut. Seeing them after 3 years was intense. My mother burst into tears the moment she saw me. She looked older than I remembered, with more gray hair and creases around her eyes. My father appeared weary and tired, his shoulders stooped as if carrying a huge weight. Gemma couldn't look me in the eye at first. She seemed smaller and less confident than the sister I recalled. We sat down, and for a while, no one knew what to say. Then they all started talking at once, apologies tumbling out. My parents said they had failed as parents by not trusting me and kicking me out. They admitted they'd regretted their decision every single day since, but pride and humiliation had prevented them from reaching out sooner. My father, who had always been a man of few words, spoke for what felt like an hour about how he'd replayed those days in his head, trying to figure out how he could have been so blind. He claimed he had always prided himself on being fair and reasonable, but that emotion had clouded his judgment when it mattered most. My mother, through tears, told me how she had preserved my room exactly as I'd left it, hoping that one day I would return. She said she would wake up in the middle of the night, thinking she'd heard me coming home, only to realize what had truly transpired. Gemma, too, burst into tears, stating she would never forgive herself for accusing me and damaging our relationship. She mentioned how she had always looked up to me when we were kids, even though I was younger. She admitted that she had been so preoccupied with her own life and troubles that she had lost sight of what was truly important. As they talked, memories of our childhood came flooding back. I remembered how Gemma stuck up for me when I was bullied in middle school. All the times we had laughed together, exchanged secrets, and supported each other during difficult times. It made the betrayal hurt even more, but it also reminded me of the fantastic times we'd had. I heard everything they said, but I couldn't bring myself to forgive them just yet. The anguish and resentment from the previous 3 years were still too raw. I informed them that I needed time to comprehend things. They seemed to understand and didn't push for more. My mom wanted to hug me before we left, but I backed away. I wasn't prepared for that kind of closeness yet. The hurt look on her face almost convinced me to change my mind, but I remained firm. I needed to protect myself emotionally. After the meeting, I returned to my apartment and carefully considered what I wanted. Did I want to go back to my previous life? Could I ever truly trust them again? Was it worth attempting to repair our relationship? I recognized that while I missed having a family, I had also grown significantly in the past 3 years. I had become self-sufficient, resilient, and had created a life for myself from scratch. I wasn't the same person they'd kicked out 3 years before. I reflected on my warehouse work, my online education, and the friends I'd made. I had worked hard to reach where I was, and I was proud of what I had accomplished on my own. The thought of abandoning that and returning to my old life felt wrong. At the same time, I couldn't deny that seeing my family had triggered a variety of feelings. Despite everything, I still loved and missed them. I wondered if I could have a relationship with them while still keeping my independence. After a few days of deliberation, I reached a decision. I called my parents and explained that while I appreciated their apology, I was not yet ready to fully reconcile. I informed them that I needed more time and space to heal. I also established some boundaries. I indicated I was willing to maintain minimal contact with them, but I wasn't going back home or pretending nothing had occurred. I told them that if we were to continue our connection, it had to be on my terms. They expressed disappointment, but said they understood. They promised to respect my boundaries and allow me the time I needed. My mother asked if she might call me once a week to check in, and I agreed, assuming it would be a nice approach to gradually reestablish trust. As for Gemma, I've decided to keep my distance for now. Her actions had affected me the most, and I wasn't ready to forgive her just yet. I told her I needed more time before I could consider having another relationship with her. She was upset but explained that she understood and would wait until I was ready. It's been a rough week, with many emotional highs and lows. I've had moments when I question my decision, wondering if I'm being too harsh or if I'm passing up an opportunity to reunite with my family. But then I recall how quickly they turned on me, and I realize I'm doing the right thing by taking things slowly. I've also started researching therapeutic possibilities. Many of you suggested it in the comments, and I believe it would be beneficial to have a professional to speak with while I navigate this tricky situation. I've never been to therapy before, so I'm a little nervous, but I think it could be very beneficial for me. For the time being, my primary focus is on my job and studies. I have a huge project coming up at work, and I'm determined not to let all of this family drama distract me from my goals. I am also thinking about moving to a better apartment. I've been saving, and I think I'm ready for a place of my own without roommates. Thank you again for your support. It's comforting to know that there are individuals out there who understand and care, even if we've never met. I'll provide an update if anything substantial changes. Update 2. It's been almost a month since my last update, and I'd like to share some developments. I've been sticking to the boundaries I've established with my family. We've had a few phone calls and text messages, but nothing particularly intense. It's been okay, awkward at times, but not as painful as I expected. My parents have mostly respected my wishes. They check in every now and then, but they don't ask for more than I'm prepared to provide. I can tell they are working hard to rebuild trust, but it is a slow process. My mother calls once a week, as we promised. These calls were strained at first, with extended silences, but they are becoming easier. We usually discuss neutral issues, such as her employment at the hospital, the weather, and my online education. It's not much, but it's a beginning. My father has been sending me short emails, usually simply to check in or share something he thinks I'd be interested in. Last week, he forwarded me an article about a new business launching in our hometown. It was a little gesture, but it reminded me of how he would clip newspaper stories for me when I was younger. Gemma struggled with the barrier I'd created between us. She sent me many long, emotional texts, apologizing and pleading for the opportunity to make things right. I responded simply, stating that I needed more time. It's difficult, but I'm holding firm on this. I know she's hurting, but I'm not prepared to deal with her feelings on top of mine. The big news is that I have started therapy. I discovered a counselor that specializes in family trauma, and we've had a few sessions thus far. It has been difficult to bring up all of the grief from the past, but I believe it is helping. My therapist is assisting me in resolving my anger and trust issues, as well as providing me with strategies for setting good boundaries. In our last session, we discussed how the incident with the ring was more than just the accusation, but also years of feeling like I didn't measure up to Gemma's accomplishments. It's made me recognize that there were difficulties in our family dynamic long before the ring incident, and that healing will require addressing those as well. One unanticipated result of all of this is that I've become closer to my friends, particularly Ryan. They've been extremely supportive throughout the entire ordeal. Ryan even offered to accompany me to any future family meetings for moral support. It's taught me that family is more than just blood. It's about who supports you when things go rough. Work has been a welcome distraction. I've poured myself into my career and even received a modest promotion. I'm now in charge of inventory management for my shift, which means additional responsibility and a minor pay increase. It is nice to have something positive to focus on. In terms of my living situation, I've decided to stay where I am for the time being. It's not much, but it's mine, and it symbolizes the independence I've worked so hard for. My parents offered to help me find a better place, but I declined. I have to do this on my own. However, I began to carefully consider choices for furthering my studies. A state institution located approximately an hour distant provides night classes. I am considering applying to their business program. It would be a significant move, but I believe I'm prepared for it. Overall, I'm taking it one day at a time. Certain days are harder than others. There are times when I mourn our easy connection as a family, but then I recall how fast they turned on me, and I realize I can't rush this process. My therapist thinks it's good to have mixed feelings about everything. She encourages me to be patient with myself and not feel obligated to forgive before I'm ready. We're working on techniques for dealing with upcoming family gatherings and holidays, which are making me more apprehensive than I'd like to admit. For the time being, my priorities are recovering and creating a life I can be proud of, with or without my family. It's not easy, but I'm positive about the future. I'm learning that it's all right to put myself first, and that creating boundaries does not make me a horrible person. Thank you for your continuing support. Your comments and messages have provided me with strength during this process. It's comforting to know I'm not alone in coping with familial issues like these. Update 3. It's been 6 months since my original post, so I thought it was time for a last update. A lot has changed during the last few months. The biggest news is that I've decided to relocate to a different place in search of a new employment opportunity. It's a significant advancement in my profession, and I'm really looking forward to the new challenges. The job is with a logistics company, and the work is comparable to what I did at the warehouse, but on a much larger scale. It's a management role, which I've been working toward for a while. The income is much higher than what I was making previously, and it includes benefits such as health insurance and a 401k plan. Before making this decision, I had a lengthy conversation with my therapist. We talked about how this move will influence my healing process and my relationship with my family. Finally, we agreed that this could be a good thing for me, an opportunity to fully stand on my own 2 feet and identify myself outside of the family drama. I informed my parents about the transfer last week. They were astonished and disappointed, yet they expressed their understanding. My mother cried a little, stating she had hoped we'd have more time to restore our relationship before my departure. My father was more stoic, but I could see he was disappointed too. They were both concerned about me being alone in a strange place, but I told them that I'd be okay. Gemma took it the hardest. After I told her, she showed up unannounced to my apartment, pleading with me not to go. She admitted that she felt like she was losing me all over again. It was a challenging conversation, but I held my ground. I informed her that this was something I needed to do for myself, and that our relationship was not in a position where her opinion could influence my decision. Our relationship is slowly improving, but it is not perfect. We've had several family dinners in recent months. They've been uncomfortable and awkward at times, but we're gradually learning to be around each other again. Trust is still a major issue. I sometimes question their motives, wondering if they truly believe what they say or if they are simply attempting to relieve their guilt. My therapist has been crucial throughout this. She has helped me analyze my emotions and create boundaries. She has emphasized that forgiveness does not imply forgetting or pretending that the trauma never happened. It's about letting go of my anger in order to find peace of mind. I've taken that to heart. While I don't believe I'll ever forget what happened, I'm attempting to forgive my family, not for their sake, but for mine. It was hard to carry around all of my anger and bitterness, and I'm ready to let it go. As I prepare for this relocation, I've been thinking about everything that has transpired. 3 years ago, I thought my life was finished. I'd lost everything, including everyone I cared about. But now I see how much I've learned from that experience. I'm stronger, more independent, and have a better understanding of my own worth than I ever had. I don't know what the future holds for me and my family. We intend to stay in touch once I relocate, with weekly phone calls and visits during the holidays. It's a start. Perhaps with time and distance, we will be able to create something new. For the time being, my attention is focused on the future. I'm excited about my new work, the new city, and the opportunities that await me. I've started looking for apartments online and researched the region where I'll be residing. It's a mix of excitement and trepidation, but I'm largely looking forward to this next chapter in my life. Whatever happens with my family, I'm confident I'll be okay. I've shown myself that I can deal with whatever life throws at me, and I've learned the value of surrounding myself with people that believe in and support me, whether they're related or not. Thank you for being with me on this journey. Have you ever had to choose between letting go of a painful past with family or completely cutting ties to protect yourself? Tell me what you think. I really want to know.